Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A Hamtramck woman, the victim of a big car rental scam. She lost almost $1,000, and tonight, Help Me Hank tracks down the high-tech thief. Thanks for being with us here for the News at 6. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. This is a type of scam that we're seeing more and more, and tonight you're going to see how it works and hopefully learn how to protect yourself against it. Our consumer investigator Hank Winchester live with what happened to a woman named Hazel and what she's doing to try to help others avoid this. This is awful, Hank.
Devin, my heart just breaks for Hazel. She was telling me her story today inside her Hamtramck home, and she wanted to share what happened with her to help protect all of you.
Okay, so when they pick up, he say, "Hello, this is Enterprise."
Hazel Martin was searching online for a contact number for Enterprise car rental. The number she found led her to a scammer.
He say, "Okay, this is your lucky day." He said, "We got a rental that we'll bring to you."
He told her in order to secure the rental, she needed to buy gift cards, multiple cards. So you spent close to $800?
Yep.
Wow. So I called the fake Enterprise phone number, and here's what happened. Is this Enterprise rental?
Yes, this is Enterprise car rental.
You accept gift cards?
Yes, as long as it says American Express.
Never pay for a service with a gift card, and make sure the number you think is correct online matches the one posted on an official website.
Enterprise does not accept gift cards for payment. So can we try to
Yes,
figure
we
this
do.
out, please?
We do, sir.
No, you don't. No, you
This
don't.
is all verified by Better Business Bureau, FBI, and everybody.
And everybody?
These car rental scams, they are booming right now, especially as we enter spring break season. Beware. Take time to confirm the person you're speaking with is in fact legit.
My second oldest son, he said, "Mama, that's not sounding right."
Yeah.
He said, "Why is he having you get all these different cards?"
Yeah.
And Hazel reaching out to Help Me Hank by sending me an email yesterday, and I followed up with her this morning. There are many different ways you can get in touch with me directly. I want to be able to hear your stories, work to solve them. In Hazel's case, just a really difficult situation there. As you can hear, she's out a lot of money, but we are right now working with the police to pass on that information. Hopefully they will work to track down the number that's at least up there right now, to at least shut the number down to protect those of you who may be falling for a similar scam. We're live here tonight. Back to you.
Hank, we always talk about the gift card request being, or option being, a red flag, but it also doesn't come with the protections that a credit card does. So is there any hope she can get this money back at all?
And Devin, there's the possibility with one gift card that we're working with that company right now. We've been in contact with them throughout the day. One card valued at $400, that one's a loss, but we're trying to at least get half of that money back. But as you mentioned, if it's a gift card that you're being told to pay with, avoid it at all costs.
Red flag number one.
So right. All right, Hank.
Thanks, Hank. A massive explosion and house fire lit up the early morning sky in Ann Arbor. The retired homeowner, fortunate to escape with his life, and his neighbors are looking to rally around him. This all happened on 7th Street, a few blocks south of the main U of M campus and northwest of the Big House. Local 4's Rod Maloney is live tonight from the scene with more. Rod.
Yeah, Kimberly, let's just take a quick look. The house is quite literally gone. It is imploded inside the basement. But perhaps more impressive when you look at this, at the explosion, across the street, probably 50 to 100 feet away, there is glass and pieces of window and drywall all in the grass here as well. There was glass in the street that the city had to clean out. And so it's a very sad situation here because the man who lived in this house apparently could not afford utilities. The flames impressive, shooting into the sky far above the house before it collapsed in on itself. The fire department on the scene within minutes, finding the homeowner dazed outside. Thankfully, his injuries are not life-threatening. Still, Ann Arbor Fire Chief Mike Kennedy told Local 4.
So he was actually walking around when our crews got here. But yeah, the fact that he was not killed and that there was no one else injured was really remarkable.
As Drone 4 shows us, the damage is complete and caused, Kennedy says, by an outdoor barbecue propane tank. Pressed into service because the man who lived here didn't have gas or water.
Very unfortunate and 100% preventable. So we just really encourage that DT has a lot of programs out there to help prevent people from having their utility shut off during the winter.
Immediately, the city went to work getting the rubble fenced in and swept up all the stray glass from the street. Neighbor Fred Hutchinson says he knows his neighbor Tom to say hello to, but he stayed pretty much to himself.
If I'd have known he was in that bad of shape financially that he couldn't afford electric and gas, I would have done something earlier.
Neighbor Dane Page escaped injury as well, but saw Tom asking for help and called 911. Like many neighbors, Dane wants to provide help where he can, too.
As for Tom, I wish him the best moving forward and where he's going to live and everything.
Now, as we look at the totaled truck with a piece of the wall over the cab of the truck, we'll let you know that this has been nonstop today of the neighbors coming and taking a look at the disaster that is here. And in fact, many of them have been saying to each other, is there a way that we can help the gentleman who lived here? His name is Tom. Unfortunately, Tom remains in the hospital, and he has not had people who really know him well enough to be able to do this. There was one woman who wanted to spearhead an effort, but she's still waiting to hear because she wants to speak to him directly before doing anything. Back to you.
Yeah, Rod, just curious, the pictures are remarkable from this, both the before and after. How close were the neighbors to harm's way in all of this?
Just steps away, Kimberly. Look behind me here. You can see that the boarded up windows, that's the house. And in fact, one of the windows actually fell in and on top of a woman who was sound asleep in one of those rooms over there. She was fortunate, and in fact, everybody in the house, there were 3 people in there, they got away. In fact, Dane Page, who you saw in our piece there, he said that they were, they were rocked out of bed, got on their coats and left, and he said that he was very grateful that they all were able to survive.
Wow. Okay. Rod, we appreciate it.
A man has been arrested in connection with a string of disturbing sexual acts inside a Target store and in the parking lot. Most recent occurred at the Target on Ford Road near Greenfield in Dearborn. A woman there told police this past Sunday that she saw a man in a Jeep Wrangler performing lewd acts in the parking lot. Upon arresting Stephen Simmons, videos were found on his phone showing him inside the store, following women through the aisles of the store and performing sexual acts near them, apparently without their knowledge. He faces charges including aggravated indecent exposure and child sexually abusive material. Dearborn police asking anyone who believes they may have been a victim of Simmons' actions to contact them directly, or you can call Crime Stoppers, 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Homeownership continues to be one of the pillars of the American dream that so many across the country are still trying to achieve. And for many, especially lately, that goal can feel out of reach. But local and religious leaders are hoping to change that. Victor Williams shows us how they're making sure Detroiters know what they need to do to get a place of their own. Victor.
Yeah, you know, Kimberly, a lot of these residents have no idea that these resources even exist to begin with. That's the reason why the church is teaming up with the city to keep people informed.
So I imagine being by yourself trying to get a house like that, that can be super difficult to deal with.
But buying a house is going to get a lot easier for Justin Boyington, with the city making sure it's known there are resources to help.
Everybody say that.
Today a workshop was held at Greater New Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church explaining the steps homeowners need to take to kickstart the process. Reverend Kenneth J. Flowers talks about the importance of making sure Detroiters can learn it all in a one-stop shop.
When I look at home ownership, I look at job opportunities, it gives us the opportunity to put people in houses and homes. That's the first step to generational wealth.
Small business owners were also able to learn a lot about securing contracts with the city. Deputy Mayor Todd Bettison on the matter.
When I'm out walking around talking, people say, well, Deputy Mayor, I have my business. I'm trying to get a city contract. How do I do it? So we have our Office of Contract and Procurement here. They're walking you through how to do business, how to get into our system.
Ultimately, it's all designed to give the average Detroiter the upper hand.
The goal is just to bring the government to the people. There's businesses in here. There's been people revolving all morning.
I think it's beneficial as somebody that's trying to actively look for a home right now. I mean, benefits like that, I think, can help people like me and people in the city who are just kind of needing to look for a house right now.
That information on our website, clickondetroit.com. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor, thank you.
This is day 3 of Michigan's first ever early in-person voting period.
The Secretary of State says more than 6,500 Michigan voters cast ballots Saturday in the presidential primary election. Proposal 2 made it mandatory to hold at least 9 days of early in-person voting for statewide and federal elections. The current early voting period lasts through this coming Sunday, the 25th. Primary election day itself is Tuesday, the 27th.
Now, be aware that your early in-person voting precinct is likely different from your normal election day voting location. For example, when one of our producers entered his address into the Secretary of State's voting website, he was first shown his normal election day voting location, Edmondson Elementary in Madison Heights in this case. Well, then below that on the same page, these 2 options for early voting, one in Royal Oak, the other in Waterford. So we have put a link at clickondetroit.com to help you find where to go. Just search early voting in the search box. It is the second story on the list.
All right, well, let's take a look outside. We've had a gorgeous day today. Love it that the sun is setting later, so we've got more daylight hours. And
a lot of people had the day off,
That's right.
so they got to enjoy the sun, Kim.
It was a good day to have off, and kids went out skiing in the local ski resorts and up north. So it's great. For folks that went to Florida, though, they had a miserable weekend. Temperatures were only in the 60s with tons of rain. In fact, they're only in the 60s right now. So don't be too jealous. 33 in Mount Clemens, 37 downtown, mid-30s in Pontiac. Tomorrow morning at the bus stop, it'll be chilly. Mostly clear skies, about 24 degrees. Sun comes up at 7:23. By the afternoon, that sunshine warms us up well above our average high, which is now 37. Temperature trend over the next several days. Look at this, barely even staying on our map here. Tomorrow 46, Wednesday 53, 51 Thursday, and then we dip back down briefly for the weekend, but we go right back into the mid 50s a week from today. There is some rain in the forecast. We'll talk about which day coming up.